What's going on, everybody? Spaceballs here. Welcome back to another Skylanders video. Alright everyone, today I want to talk about the scrolls that you use to upgrade your gear. I've been getting a lot of questions about these scrolls. Which ones do I use? Which ones are good? When should I start using them? So let's get right into it here and pull this up. Let's pull up Stink Bomb because I started putting scrolls on him so I can go over them with you guys. So before we actually get into this part of it, let me show you where you get these scrolls from, and that is from the scroll dungeon. Now, there's only 3 floors, but for some reason, this dungeon is just super tough when you get to floor 3. I am still only doing 2 myself. And this is where you're going to farm these scrolls. Now, you need feathers to farm this dungeon, and you get the feathers from Cyclops. So 1F doesn't drop anything, 2F drops the green ones, 3 drops green, and then you got 4 with blue, 5 with blue, and then 6 with purple. And you need to collect these feathers in order to get the scrolls. So it goes hand in hand with your rune farming, which makes sense. So now let's go back to Stink Bomb here. So now you're farming Cyclops, you're farming your scrolls. Who do you put them on? And which ones do you use? At the end of the day, there's no right or wrong answer to this. It's just giving you extra buffs, stats, heals, added onto your regular runes. I actually really like the way they set this up. You don't see this in many games. You usually see like rune grinds and enhancement gems, stuff to like enhance the stats, but you don't actually see a whole nother rune set built into your actual runes. So now if we click here, we got a fatal one on Stink Bomb. Now the first thing I want to say about this is make sure you take note that you need at least 4 of the same scroll to make the ability proc. If you have 1 or 2, even 3, it is not going to proc, so you're not going to get the extra bonus from it. And this works in 4-piece sets and 6-piece sets. And this works in 4-piece sets and 6-piece sets. So very important that you take notice of that first before you start putting these scrolls on your Skylanders. So you want to look at what scrolls you have first and make sure you have a set of 4 before you start equipping these to your rune sets. So you can click on Power Up, you can go to Enchant, and then you will see which scrolls you have in your inventory. There is 6 sets total. So the first one on this list, we have Vampire. So I'm going to equip one to him so we can pull up the actual stats without having to click. I'm just going to do this for video purposes. So we're going to go to Enchant. We're going to click on a Lifesteal, and we're going to enchant it. Now the thing with these scrolls is if you have a green one, it can actually go to a purple one. And I believe a blue one can actually go to a gold one. But I'm not completely sure if a green one can go to a legendary one, but it can definitely go to a purple one. So now we have 4 of these blue Lifesteal scrolls. So if I wanted to equip these on my Stink Bomb, which I absolutely do, Lifesteal is actually my favorite scroll out of all of them. It's just the most useful in my opinion. And it's so versatile, it works on pretty much any Skylander you have. So in my opinion, and for me, I'm mostly going to use this Lifesteal. And just having an extra Lifesteal set on top of your gear set just seems so OP to me. Because in most games, you actually have to have like a 4-piece set to have a vampire set. So having it as an extra set on top of your gear, I just love the idea of that. And I wouldn't use any blue scrolls on your lower gear, as in like your 3-star, maybe even your 4-star. If it's legendary, you can. But you want to make sure you have a lot of these scrolls before you start just wasting them. Now the green ones doesn't matter as much because you'll be able to farm a bunch of them. But for your blue ones and your purple ones, you want to be equipping these to your good gear so you're not wasting them, because once you equipped it, you can't take it off. So just keep that in mind when you're equipping these scrolls. If it's like 3-star, 4-star gear, try to use the green ones first, and then you get a chance for it to proc to purple anyways. Let's enchant this here. So now we got a vampire set. So with 4 pieces, we got recovers your HP by 5% of the inflicted damage when you inflict damage with a skill. Just like a normal vampire set, except it's 5%. And then a 6-piece set is 10%. I love this set. I think it's versatile and you can use it on any Skylander you want. So that is the vampire set. And now you see on my Stink Bomb, I have 4 different sets here. That is not good. You do not want to do that. I only did this for video purposes. Make sure you are using the same scrolls on each individual Skylander that you are putting these scrolls on. That is the most important thing I can tell you about these scrolls. Otherwise, you will not get the stats. So now let's go to the next one on the list here, and that is Fatal. Now, Fatal is another really good set. I just think this is geared more towards your damage dealers, like your Stealth Elf, or whatever Skylander you're using for bigger damage. Because what this does is, on a 4-piece set, it inflicts 5% of the enemy's max HP as damage, additionally with a 50% chance when you attack the enemy with boost activated, not activated for boss monsters. Now this would be a lot more OP if it worked for the campaign bosses, the C5 boss, but it does not. So in my opinion, it's not as good as Vampire. Maybe when you're late game, you just want to do more damage overall, then we'll see a lot more fatals. But if you have a set of 4 and you want to throw it on your attacker, there is nothing wrong with it. It's just going to give you extra damage overall. And then you got the 6-piece set, which gives you 5% of the enemy's max HP, 100% chance instead of 50. And fatal is going to be geared more towards your attackers. Next on the list, we have Reflect. Now Reflect and Shield, I'm going to go over at the same time here. I want to equip one and see if we can't get one to change to purple just so I can show you guys. I'm going to put Reflect and Shield kind of in the same category because I believe they're both more geared towards PvP content. Now, with the Shield one, if you're taking a lot of damage in Cyclops and you just need to stop yourself from taking, a little bit of damage, the Shield one is really good. But I honestly think the Reflect and the Shield is going to be best used on your defense and offense team for PvP. So we got Reflect here. Let's enchant it. Let's see if we can get a purple one. No, we didn't. So we got Reflect, 4-piece set, 5% of the received damage. So if something is doing really big damage, and this is why I say Reflect is more PvP oriented, because in PvP, if your enemy has a bunch of damage stacked on their glass cannons, they're going to be doing a ton of damage. If it's a glass cannon and you're reflecting that damage, you're going to do huge damage back to that enemy. Great for PvP. So 5% of the received damage on the enemy when you're attacked from an enemy skill. And then a 6-piece set gives you 10%. So to sum this up, you're reflecting 5 to 10% of the damage back to the attacker. And then we have this shield set, which again, I think is PvP oriented. Again, if you're taking huge damage when you're farming Cyclops or, the Scroll Dungeon, Awakening Dungeon, this is not a bad set to have. But again, I think it's really good for arena defense, and that's where I'm probably going to use protection the most. And like you saw there, it went from green to blue, and it can also go from green to purple. And I never got a legendary, so let me know in the comments, actually, if it can go from green to legendary. I've never seen it myself, so I don't want to say can until I see it, or you guys tell me for sure. So we have a 4-piece set here. After an ally's turn ends, grants the shield 5% effect on yourself for 1 turn. If all of your active skills are under the cooldown time. Again, it's got a condition on it. I just think Lifesteal outshines this by tenfolds, in my opinion. And then you got the 6-piece set, which gives you 10% instead of 5%. Not a bad thing to have, especially if you don't have anything else. You just throw it on your runes, and then you can just change it or junk it later on in the future. Next, we have Bond, and again, it went from green to blue. Now, the thing with Bond is it can kind of be used in all content, but when you look at Lifesteal and you look at Fatal, do you really want to use Bond over those two? Again, it's going to be up to you. But what Bond does is it acquires 1 additional core power of the Portal Master with a 20% chance when you use a skill. I feel like this could be good in like the World Boss, and again in PvP content. I don't see myself using this too much because I'm always going to use Lifesteal over this. Unless I don't have Lifesteal, then maybe I'll use this. But again, I just think Bond is not as good as some of the other ones, in my opinion. So we got a 4-piece set, gives you 20%, and then a 6-piece set gives you 40%. Not a bad thing to have. I just don't see myself using Bond over Lifesteal, in my opinion. And when you equipped one of these, if you have a previous effect, and then you're putting a new effect, you can actually restore the old one, or keep the new one. It is up to you. So that is a good choice to have. So then we have the last one here, and that is Purify. Again, I think this one is really good for arena defense, because we got removes the debuff effect ×1 with a 15% chance if your HP is recovered with your skill. Now, this could be good in Cyclops, but for me, again, I'm going to use this more in PvP content, because in my personal experience, I'm not having much trouble with debuffs in Cyclops, not yet anyways. I just started farming C5. Maybe when I start farming C6, or maybe when I start farming, the Scroll Dungeon floor 3, I might have a problem with debuffs, and then maybe I'll look at Purify as being a lot stronger. For right now, again, I feel like it's more of a defense thing, because if you have a Purify set, a protection set, and then a reflex set, on each different Skylander for your defense with all three of those effects together. I feel like that could be super strong, so I'm going to play around with these in the future. I just want to touch on each one for you guys. And for me personally, I'm going to be sticking mostly to Lifesteal and Fatal. And then when I get later into that PvP content, I'm really trying to compete, I will start messing around with these other ones. There's nothing wrong with them. It's better to use one of these than use nothing. Just remember that. Even if you use the green ones, still better than nothing. So just bear that in mind. If you look through your main team, like me here, like the epic fail that I am, because I have all of these green scrolls just sitting there and I can literally just throw sets on all of my Skylanders, which I'm going to do after this video. And it just gives me extra bonus effects, stats, however you want to say it. But again, it's better to have it than not have it. I'm just hurting myself here by not doing it. And then when you get more into the game, you can kind of iron out which set you like the best and which effect you like the best. So I hope that clears up scrolls for you guys. Me personally, I actually love the way they did it in this game. I love how it adds an extra set effect to your current rune set. Really awesome. I'm actually loving Skylanders. So much fun with this game. I never thought I'd be saying that when I first started playing it, but here we are. Thank you guys so much for the continued support here on YouTube. We are growing so fast. I cannot thank you enough, like I always say. The giveaway video is linked down below. If you want to be a part of the random giveaway, which I'm going to be picking at the same time when we do the sub celebration winners, all you have to do is sub to the channel, like, and comment on my past 10 videos, and that's going to automatically enter you into the random giveaway. We also have the Discord giveaway going on. There is 2 going on there right now. That is linked down below with my Twitch. I love each and every single one of you. I will see you in the next one. Spaceballs out. Peace.